So as we've been buffing on the car, we noticed that over time that it was taking forever to buff out the car. And when it came to the 33 that me and Greg were doing, it would take minutes to buff out and get to a nice shine, beautiful shine on the car. So I knew that something was, not going the way it should be going. And I've had, decent products to use. Over the last year, I've been researching this stuff. And of course, seeing it in real time with Greg. He uses like a DeWalt buffer, I don't know, maybe a 12-inch buffing wheel. And then the 3M Perfected products. So seeing how those products worked, I was interested in doing the same thing. And then I also researched, high-end buffers, and I finally got a buffer. So fast forward, and here I am trying to use these products, and it's not working. And then I'm like, well, I need to get, at least an 8-inch is what they use on the Perfected system for 3M. And then nothing fits my machine, so there is no 8-inch for my machine. And, there's all these walls I've been kind of going into. So after seeing the results that we weren't getting the other day on Rick's vehicle, I did a little more research and started digging in again. And I was a little frustrated because I've been doing research for about 3 months on, buffing products, and I just kept, hitting walls and not getting anywhere. So I did a deep dive on the Rupes versus 3M Perfected system. And about 3 pages into Google, which I never go that far, but in this case I wasn't finding any information, and came up with somebody that asked the same question, and someone responded and said, no, you're not getting it. These are totally two different things. One is for rotary and one is for DA buffers. And started showing the labels on all these products, which, if you think about it today, if you're not in the pro world, you don't have a representative. There's no stores to go to anymore. There's no one to consult with you on it. And then when you see something online, they don't show the back labels like it's vitamins or something like that with the ingredients. All they do is show you the front picture of what it looks like, and good luck. And then you read people's websites, and of course, they're assuming that you're in their system, so you just buy whatever for their system, and it is what it is. Well, that's impossible to get where you need to go if you're trying to dial stuff in, right? So what the guy said is, no, you're not getting it. It's two different systems. One is for rotary only, and one is for DA only, and they don't intermix or interchange or do anything, with the same exact product. And it was like, what? And it took me, again, months. I've been researching this stuff for over a year, but the last 3 months I've been digging into it. And it was literally like the light bulb was going on, because I was going down to the paint shop. They had all the 3M Perfected stuff. I'm like, yeah, I need an 8-inch this. We don't have that in stock, and it wouldn't fit your machine anyways. And this, but no one would tell me. No one would ever say. And if you look at mostly the advertisements of most companies, they don't really tell you about anything. They're just like, buy our product and use it. They don't say it's only in this family. And so through my research, I noticed that Rupes had rotary compounds and they had DA compounds. In fact, they're the only company that I've seen that advertise that. But they didn't necessarily advertise, it doesn't explain the rest of the world out there. It's only with their products. And I'm like, okay, not that it's a gimmick, but they're the only ones out of the whole world advertising this. So are they new to this? Like they're doing a new marketing advertising thing? It's like, no. They're just telling you exactly what it is. So it's been really fascinating, because once I got that tidbit of information, and I don't have a rotary machine, Greg does, so the rotary stuff worked. I was like, well, let's go look at the products I've been using compound-wise to work on Rick's truck. And I read the back of it, and it said rotary tools only. Well, we're not using rotary tools. That's why we're not getting anywhere. So I decided that I'm going to, this whole process of me doing the car stuff has been about creating systems that I could rinse and repeat for the next 10, 15 years. Get into a system, whether I'm painting a car, sanding the car, and buffing it to a shine, or I'm working on someone's car where I'm just going to perfect it like I did with my Corvette, get rid of the fog and get it to like show car polish looking. I want one system where I could go from anywhere I want and work within it. And once I understand the products and I learn the products well, then I could start mixing and interchanging within that system to do what I need to do, whether it's a soft paint, a hard paint, whether it's a simple job, it just needs a gloss note, has bigger scratches, and just work within that. And it's been hard to figure out what that is until I got to this point. And that's the other thing I want to say is when you go to most buffing videos or companies or manufacturers, they're all pushing towards the person that's just detailing their car. They're not talking about people that are painting their car and doing stuff like that, like body work. You don't see those type of videos. So that's where I think maybe some of the discrepancies in the information out there exist. Maybe I don't know that all 3M products are rotary because it's a professional product that usually has a rep that comes to your shop and explains to you what products to use at what time, and I just can't get that information on the internet. So there is the trap that, yeah, I'm a DIY guy, but I want professional results. So I'm pushing towards that professional edge. And so I think that's the discrepancy for someone like me who wants to take it all the way to the nth degree. There's missing information. I can't get that information unless I'm talking to a rep. It just doesn't exist on the internet and all that. And that one little grain of sand of information would have led me down a whole different path a year ago or 6 months ago or 3 months ago or whatever. And so here I am. This is the reason that I'm doing these trials and doing tests on vehicles is so I can perfect my system to where I don't have to think about it anymore and I can just rinse and repeat and keep going. So what we have is since I already had a brand new buffer, it's a DA, it's a dual action system. I went with the Rupes system and I got the microfiber pads that are the heaviest cutting, and then I also got the foam for the very ultralight, and I got 3 different courses of compounds and I got 3 different courses of pads. A coarse microfiber, they have a medium now, but this is like I think they call it light, and then there's ultralight, and I got 3 compounds that go through it. Now they also make, and that's the other problem, is once you go into one of these systems, they got 3 different types of pads, then they got 4 different courses of those pads, and then you have about maybe 15 different compound products. And so when you look at like trying to figure it all out, you have to look at 30 or 40 things, which is of course thousands of different combinations, and figure out what kind of system you want to be to what you're doing. Now, one of the things that they do have is a all one and done type of thing that actually has a protectant in it that will last for about 12 months. Well, I like doing the ceramic protectant that I want, so I went with a pure ultrafine, so that way I'm not introducing any other kind of weird components into the system that doesn't jive with the ceramic. It's just pure compound. And so that's the way I went, so I could choose what type of protectant I'm going to use at the end. Now, if I wanted to choose their protectant, then I would do the all-in-one for that stage. But in my case, I wanted to keep it clean, so I had choice afterwards. So we're going to try that system out today and kind of see how it goes and see if we could actually get Rick's truck, polished up as fast as possible. All right, so as you can see, we got into the system here. We got DA coarse, DA fine, and the Uno 1 pure, which the pure means there's no extra protectant or anything in there. And then we got 3 corresponding pads. 1 microfiber extreme cut. We have the fine cutting in the microfiber. And then I decided to go with a foam pad because I know it doesn't dig in as much as this, and I wanted it to be more polished and high end. So going with a pure matched with that. And of course, you could always use a different compound with a different pad to get a different result, depending on what your paint's working on. Whether it's hard or soft and stuff like that. But I got, a few of each of these just so I could actually figure out my way throughout the process. But worst case, it has a blue cap, blue, yellow cap, yellow, and this one is just white bottle, white. So there you go.
That don't look too terrible. What do you think? This part, or should I just stay on the rail?
This is tough because of this edge.
Yeah. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it because you can't really see it until you.
I mean, we'll buff these little scratches out.
Okay. I'll just stick to the rails then.
We could always go back. You know what I mean? You could,
yeah.
As long as you're being conservative, you could always go back. All right, so here's our before and after, and you can see that this is sanded, and it's super flat, but still has a little bit of orange peel in it because I want it to match. But here now is only a few minutes on the buffer, so probably on the hood I'm probably going to go one extra step and go to the medium step, but coming from that to this is freaking brilliant. So you can see in the sunlight that I got that area real good, but you can see here I still got more to go.
Oh yeah, man, that looks really good.
That's why I was trying to use the flashlight earlier.
Holy moly, that looks really good.
And I would say that the paint seems pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not burning through this really quickly. It's taken a few iterations. So, but you need that to get this to go, like I should be done with the hood already.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I think it will be fine to do what you sanded because it was a light sand.
Uh-huh.
However, if I had a rotary, that would be like 3 minutes.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, a dangerous 3 minutes, but 3 minutes.
Yeah, because you don't want to go.
Yeah. You know, that's what happened like on my car. Is there's a few times where it's like you come up to an edge like this or something like that, and all of a sudden you see black because you just burnt the paint right off. And then you have to go spray it in. So I'm gonna stop on this. I'm gonna work on the side of the car.
Oh, it looks good then.
We're there, but
Yeah.
we're not fully there.
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
But I think we'll be able to get this to look great.
Okay.
So that is what I'm planning.
And it looks great from afar. It's only us being critical when we go over.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, oh yeah, we could get it better. But
Yeah.
but from right here, fucking looks
Oh
amazing.
yeah. No, totally.
You put as much effort as you want. I don't care.
Well,
I
like
think
I said, I want to.
You want to?
wanna
You're
figure it
practicing,
out.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Because like when I go to do the van,
Uh-huh.
I want it to be as good or better than the car.
Oh shit. Okay.
And so this is the only way I can figure that out is by doing this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's do it.
right, as you can see, we could see some reflections. Things are going pretty well. We got half the vehicle done. Got our little smudges here. Half the vehicle's done. I gave up on the hood. Why? I gave up on the hood because from here it looks amazing, and then from here it doesn't, because it really needs to be, there you go, really needs a rotary machine. So what I've decided, well, what the world has decided, and I'm just realizing, we'll put it that way, is the system I'm using is great for detailing cars and getting, it will get out the 2000 and 3000 and possibly even 1200 if you go with the course and the course pad, but you're going to spend some time doing it. If you're just taking out a scratch and doing a little sanding and you work that thing, sure, it'll be fine. But when you're doing a whole hood, this ain't going to cut it. I mean, it will if you want to spend 20 hours, but if you want to spend 5 minutes, you get a rotary. So now it is all 100% clear to me exactly how we're doing stuff. And I think it's because it's really two different worlds. You have one world that only talks about detailing, and you have one world that is dealing with body repair, buffing, polishing, sanding, stuff like that. So therefore, I'm going to have two worlds. I'm going to have the rotary world and the course world. Now, that being said, when I do the rotary thing, I'm only going to use one type of compound to get the bulk of that job done. And then after the bulk of that job's done, come back with these products and just do the final pass and be done. So it's just one extra step in my process and an extra machine, but I'm totally fine with that because knowledge is power, and now I feel like I have knowledge and we're kicking ass. So that's where we're at. So what we did is we did about half the car. We did these two, and then we went with a ceramic sealant, which actually has a fine polish inside of it, and just took care of it because with the weather and the time that we do this, since we only have weekends to do it, it's going to be a week before we could get back to it. And by that time, we don't want the paint to oxidize. We want to seal it up. So we just grabbed that, popped it on there. That's what I was going to do anyways, but we did that as a last minute to seal it up. And of course, you could always do maintenance afterwards, every 6 months or so with that. But in any case, I feel like we're getting somewhere. So we're pretty close to being done on the truck. I would say maybe if I get a rotary machine, we're maybe looking at one more afternoon. I mean, that's a mirror, baby. So we have to get this whole side of the car. You can see like there's still scratches. And this would take, 5 to 10 minutes with the Rupes course. But with a buffer, you could hit that in like 30 seconds to a minute. Get with a rotary, 1 minute, that would be all gone. And of course, all this stuff would be gone. So that's where we're at today. We'll see what happens next time.
Yeah, you haven't shown me your stickers and you haven't given me a ride yet. Those two things we haven't done
That's
yet.
that's on your list.
That's on my bucket list. I'm here. I never knew the brand. I'm like, wait, what is that?
Focal.
Yeah.
French brand.
I bet that thing would sound amazing on it. It's just a good. All the instruments sound badass loud on that
Right.
song. It's like,
Right.
especially the synthesizer. Oh yeah, you look sharp, dude.
It's good in there.
Fuck yeah. It's amazing how that wheel, it just makes a fucking night and day difference. How is that?
Dude, it's totally...
I mean, with little effort, but more skill,
Right.
Because I don't want to be doing that corn with this fucking thing. I'll fucking burn right through it.
So with this is 3M I'm using, this gray stuff. It seems like you could see better, where the other stuff is a little bit more gritty. This you could actually see it to a polish, and I think it gives a higher polish once you're finished.
No, it looks really nice.
So
hey, when you can see your reflection pretty good in it, you know that's some pretty good shit. Huh?
yeah, this stuff, however, is crazy expensive.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's why he lent you just a little bit.
I asked him. I was like, "Do you mind if I borrow just a little bit or
of
whatever?"
that stuff.
And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." And I was like, "Wow, I was surprised he said that." And so, but yeah, like those bottles that I have over there, something like $85 for one.
You were saying that stuff is like $85?
Just for one bottle.
Holy.
And like you could get a gallon. I think it's a gallon. $250 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to be on it for 20 hours or 2 minutes?
Right.
Yeah, you know, when they say time is money, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yep. The other thing I noticed about this product is it seems that it doesn't dry out as fast as McGuire's.
That's a 3M product? Did you say that's a 3M product?
Yeah. Technically, it's for paint and body shops. And stuff like that.
like professional guys.
Yeah. Let me... I believe this is, if it's not this formula, it's one off from this. But I believe this is the same exact stuff we used to do my car.
Wow.
Which
It works pretty amazing though.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to give this a shot, and that's why I didn't. That's why I wanted to try it, because I'm like, I don't want to buy something for $85 and get a cup into it and go, this isn't the right product. You know what I mean? That's
so
like
you borrowed a cup of sugar from your buddy.
pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. So the best thing about this is we know it's working and it's coming close to the end.
Yeah, for sure.
That was some of the other problems, is you're working on something and then you just don't feel like it's going anywhere.
Yeah, we were stuck.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're taking notes.
Oh yeah. Definitely taking notes.
And then you're penciling in no more fucking Chevy Silverado full sizes.
Yeah.
No, hey.
Even this Tundra that I'm doing, this Tundra I'm doing is probably only 5 inches thinner than this truck. And I'm like, that's just not small enough.
It is still gonna be one and done, huh?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Check this out.
Oh boy, look at that. Yeah,
Pretty, huh?
yeah. Great.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah, it does.
A lot of elbow grease.
Yeah.
She's getting there.
Did you like that tape stuff, Jim?
You can see there's a line And I can't buff it out.
Okay.
I think that has to do with the blending agent.
Oh, okay.
So what I should have done is sanded the whole door
Oh,
and cleared the whole door, but only painted this area.
I see.
I think that's really the only main way out. I was just hoping that this little ledge was, which for the most part on the ledge it worked fine.
Yeah.
Like you can't really see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but I mean the paint came out great.
Yeah.
The match is pretty dang good
Yeah.
for a sun beaten truck, you know what I mean?
Hey, she polishes up like nicey little turd. Cause like, I mean, right?
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
how
yeah.
much it polished up though.
Oh yeah. No, it just comes to life.
Yeah, it really came to life.
So
Yeah.
Sweet.
the next vehicle I'm working on has pretty much the same exact issues as this, but the body lines are a little different where it cuts off.
Yeah.
And this little area right here has some issues, barely, just barely. And the hood's trashed and the top's trashed. But the way that it cuts, I could section it off and just do those two. No problem. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But if he wants me to do this, I think I'd have to sand the whole fender and clear the whole fender, which, bizarrely enough, this Toyota Tundra almost has no orange peel. I mean, it's the best orange peel I've ever seen on a commercial vehicle. And I'm like, that means my painting has to be better. You know what I mean? Like it has to
Are
match.
you thinking about getting a better gun then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably never use those guns.
Yeah.
Those other ones? Yeah. The spray wasn't as big as you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was only shooting like that.
And I was like going like this
Yeah.
when I could have been doing this.
Faster with a bigger spray.
Yeah.
Because bigger means more fine too at the end, correct?
More fine and you're
theory?
getting more product so you can move a little quicker. I mean, that was kind of the main reason that this was lumpy over here is because it was too dry. And so, but we recovered it, you know what I mean?
No, I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Really good.
So, but it's a process,
Yeah.
It's a process.
It was a good learning process. My truck looks.
Yeah.
Hey, we just added $3,000 value more to it.
Oh,
being
yeah,
that it's
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, because you look at it, you go, it looks great. Would
Yeah.
have looked like that. You would have been like, the paint's kind of screwed up, but
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it looks.
it looks good. I think it looks amazing.
Yep.
And I'm glad I took those moldings off. I was worried how it was gonna look. I mean, it doesn't even look like we even had them.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
With that wheel that you had gone, that
Yeah.
thing worked good. Now you know that wheel works good if you want to take
Right.
moldings off too.
Yeah, shocking enough, that was really inexpensive.
And it came out pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Once you got to the buffing part of it, it took care of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. I love it.
Now that's what I'm talking about. All right, so we got some amazing results. We even did the headlights, got them all cleared with 2K, so those aren't going to be fogging up anytime soon. There's a little bit of a rain drizzle on the truck right now, but you could see that it's polished up really nice, came out really well. The one thing that I'll say is we were using Meguiar's for rotary since I had the product already, and it was flinging basically what I would call sand grit. It's like there's a sand grit to it and a little bit of liquid, and it was just kind of shooting all over the place, and it did its job, but it just didn't really, you couldn't see through the product as you were looking and seeing if the truck was being polished. Where the 3M Protect It almost has like an oil base to it. It's kind of like mayonnaise. We'll put it like that. And as you put it on the car and you're buffing, you could see through it and see how well of a job you're doing at the time. And so that made all the difference. And it didn't, you can fling it everywhere if you don't do it right. But with the Meguiar's, it flung everywhere no matter what you try to do. With the 3M, if you got it right on the thing, it wouldn't fling. And you notice, like, I was doing the area of the door with the front door open. You saw pure confidence there that I wasn't flinging crap all over the place and all over the interior. So it's really worked out well. The 3M product is great. Now, the one thing I will say is Rupes actually makes a rotary product also. However, if I could get a sample version of that, a sample pack, then that might actually work out pretty well to test it out and see what's going on. But at this point, I'm really happy with the 3M products. That's what we use to do my car, and it worked out great on the hood. And we didn't even bother buffing any of the top up there except for the back corner, because you can't see it anyways. It doesn't really matter. And it actually laid out really flat up there anyways. So really happy with the job. I have another job supposedly coming up, which is going to be a Toyota Tundra. As you probably heard in the video, it's probably 5 inches smaller than this one. So it's still going to be a huge, big vehicle. And I'm just going to have real tough conversations of expectations of whether, you know, we want to fix the little part here that's starting to you know, look something like that, because that means I got to do the whole fender. Not that I have to paint the color, but I have to do the clear on the whole fender to get it to all match. So the whole line thing that we did here worked out perfectly during the edge, but it didn't work out perfect towards the end there. And believe me, you know, you're not seeing it, but if I don't think you could see it on camera, but you could see it with the naked eye. So in any case, job well done. I learned a lot. I don't like my spray gun, so I'm going to get a better spray gun for the next job. And this is one notch on the belt to moving forward and spraying the best paint job I can on my van. So I'm really happy about this. Until next time, have a great day. And remember, products are linked in the description below.